We do, Bernie. We start with William Bennett, the co-director of Empower America. He was President Reagan's chairman of the National Endowment for the Humanities and Secretary of Education, as well as the drug czar for President Bush. Your mood has changed since you arrived here tonight. What do you make of this night, Bill?
Well, last half hour has been good. I think the next half hour is Bush country, too. We'll see. I got a comment, though, Larry. You know, I'm not a conservative press basher. A lot of conservatives are. But this really shouldn't happen. You should not call a state and then have to take it back. You're not the only guys who did it. NBC did it. I think other people did, too. But there have been all these tributes to democracy and all these explanations that we may have to be here late this evening or into tomorrow. Well, let's stay late this evening or into tomorrow. You don't call a state like Florida, as big and critical as Florida, and then take it back off the board. This affects how people think. It takes the air out of people's enthusiasm. I mean, I'm glad the mistake is corrected, but Bill Schneider was saying we're going to be very cautious. Well, should have been very cautious and not called it in the first place. That's really an interference in democracy.
The same on the other side. Do you think if Bush is close on one, they should not call it?
I mean, they should obviously observe whatever, you know, structures and rules they've got. But of course, this isn't a point about liberal bias I'm making. This is a point about procedures and following it right. And counting right, you know, doing your math right or doing your homework. But I mean, this should not happen to either side. I don't know if it's the eagerness for ratings, but you know, we've already been told that we might expect a long night into tomorrow.
And you
fine, democracy can survive that. We can do that. The American people are grown up enough. You don't have to tell us something that you're not really reasonably sure of.
What do you make of this swing through the night, one way back and forth?
Well, I mean, it's a very close contest, obviously. The turnout's interesting. There's some pieces here I don't understand. I've heard that there was a large, you know, absentee ballot participation in Florida and in other states. I think there was a big one in Texas when Governor Bush ran for governor. Your other guests can talk about that. I may be right, I may be wrong about that. But what's the turnout of the Christian right? We've heard a lot about labor and African Americans. That's surely in big numbers. Where's the religious right? I'm curious about that. Where are the Catholics? They were a big target. I'd like to know the answer to that. And the suburbs seem to be pretty interestingly split. Before we had this retraction of Florida, you know, one had to comment. You know, as a loyal Republican, one still had to comment. Hey, 3 Republican governors, you know, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Florida. But now, obviously, that's in question, and Governor Ridge is calling Governor Bush saying Pennsylvania's still in play. So it's a long night, and again, we can, you know, if we can stay up for Johnny and David and other ridiculous things, we can sure stay up for democracy. Don't do this to us, guys.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for your thoughts. William Bennett, the co-director of Empower America. We understand there's another call coming in a moment. As soon as we get it, we'll go right to it. And Riches, you have deflated in the last half hour.
Well, actually, I just feel like I have begun my day because I've gotten lectured by Bill Bennett